Alright guys, we are back with round 2 Edison format at Epic Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We have Bob on the left playing Quickdraw Amaryllis versus Vinh on the right playing Vayu Turbo. This tournament was 4 rounds of Swiss, cut to top 8. Now Bob's got 1 win on the channel this year. He won recently, and if you guys are interested in his deck profile, it is on the channel. Just check out the deck profiles playlist. Bob goes first, trades in the Amaryllis, while Vinh, still kind of new, shows up occasionally. We'll see how he does. I think the furthest he's made it is top 4. So we'll see if he can get that a win on the channel before 2025 is over. So Vinh plays Charge, Mills Ryko, Vayu, and Mirror Force. See, this is the strength, because I also entered this tournament and I played Nitro Vayu for the first time. And yeah, there's things about it that are really good, but at the same time, there's strength to the Ryko version. I need to test it out more before I make a decision on which version is better. But it's definitely a good deck. I know I've heard some people say, "Oh, the deck sucks." I disagree. Having played it, the deck is good. Is it better than the traditional Vayu deck? I don't know. I don't have enough reps with it to really make that decision. Anyway, let's see what Vinh does. So he chooses to summon Arma instead of setting Ryko. Maybe because he's anticipating that set monster is a Ryko as well, that Bob set. So he sends Sirocco, and then Arma attack. Ryko mills Lone Fire, Mark, and Mirror Force. Now, as far as who am I going to root for in this match, Bob just won recently, so I'm going to root for Vinh to get that first win. All right, so Bob drew Charge as well. Activate Charge, mill Trade-In, Titanial, and Foolish. Since he has Amaryllis, I think he's going to go for Lila. Yep, so Bob's playing like Lila, Jane, and Ryko in his deck. So maybe you summon the Lila to bait out the Bottomless. Yep, summon the Lila. Vinh with the Bottomless. Now he could bring out Amaryllis here. We'll see if he does. Set Torrential, so it doesn't bring out the Amaryllis. So here will Vinh set the Ryko. So his hand is like Ryko. I know he has a Ryko and a Vayu, so he might have set Ryko here. As far as Amaryllis goes, I'm glad Bob is playing Edison again, because he's like the one person who really likes playing Amaryllis at the local. Donnell used to play a lot of Amaryllis, but he's playing advanced now, so I don't think we'll see him, except for the big tournaments. It's probably like the only time we'll see D Nasty. Alright, summon Lone Fire, pop the Lone Fire. Also, this deck has fallen off. And I've said this before in previous videos, but I think Gigavice was a big reason why a lot of the players who played Amaryllis switched to Gigavice. And other decks as well, like Vayu, Blackwing, obviously, Frog, Forg. So he doesn't attack, just goes end phase, banish. Because if it's a Ryko, he's probably going to negate it with Titanial. So I think Vinh has Vayu, so he's going to flip Ryko. Mill Star Trooper, Sirocco, and Deck Dev, so he's on the main deck DDV. I think he's playing like the Sizzle 41. Okay, so he has Gale and Caius and Chaos Sorcerer. So he decides to attack here. So he can he could have summoned Gale and made Catastor, but he could have also, instead he's going to choose for Caius. Negate. I mean, he's got a back row though, so that back row could stop the Catastor easily. All right, pass to Bob. What's in Bob's hand? Hidden Armory. So he plays Hidden Armory, mills. I can't see what it is. What did he mill? Oh, he milled another Hidden Armory. Hidden Armory, grab DDR. But what's DDR gonna do besides grab back Lone Fire or Lila? I guess you could DDR either one of those. So DDR, pitch Dandelion. Grab the Lone Fire. Oh, he's got Miracle Furt as well. Okay, yeah, Bob's cooking. If he's not afraid of Torrential or Mirror Force. Big if. So he brings out Botanical Lion. Okay, so he might... I thought he was going to bring out Titanium, but I actually think the other one's in his hand. I think the other Titanium is in his hand and one's in the grave. Yeah, you can see one Titanium in Bob's hand. So here comes Miracle Furt. Bring out the Titanium. Okay, so he's reading it if he can bring it out in attack or defense. So yeah, he decides to bring it out in defense, so he's playing around Mirror Force here. So attack with Lone Fire, attack with the Botanical Lion. Yo, that thing is huge. 2,800? End phase, Amaryllis. Yeah, man. This matchup for Vayu is rough. I've struggled against... Whenever I used to play a lot of Vayu this year, and I always struggled against Amaryllis. It's not a fun matchup. Normal Summon Grepher, pitch, Vayu. Sensoroko. I wonder how the Nitro Vayu deck does against Amaryllis. Because one of the reasons why the traditional Vayu deck struggled against it was because of Raikou was not that great against them. Maybe the Nitro Vayu, I mean... I'm not sure. So here, I've actually already watched this game, which I normally don't. But I messed up when I was filming. So I know what's going to happen here. Normally I don't. Normally I go in and it's a raw reaction, but... So here, I think Vinh messes up by summoning the Chaos Sorcerer. He's going to make a Black Rose. He's going to go return Black Rose, which is the correct play. But I think he should have held the Chaos Sorcerer. Yeah, he kind of wasted the Chaos Sorcerer here. My guess is he just doesn't play much against Amaryllis. I don't know if Vinh plays online or if he's a in real life person only. Which I get it. I'm kind of the same way. I really don't like playing online. It just, to me, it just doesn't feel the same. I'll play online for like practice. I'll play in the big online tournaments, but it doesn't beat the in real life aspect of the game. Like shuffling the cards, making the plays, feeling them. It's just not the same to me. I know some people might disagree, but that's just how I look at it. I'll still play online. I still use it for testing and stuff, but it doesn't beat in real life for me. So you can see here he's gonna use 2 Vayus. So he goes Arm Wing. So yeah, he's going to make the Black Rose. Which all this was correct. The only thing was, I think he should have just... Or maybe there was another play that I didn't think of. The problem is the Titanium is just so hard to deal with. But there might have been another play that I can't think of. Does he have access to Plague? But you also have to worry about his back row, so... That's what I'm saying, this was not a bad play, but the issue is you're so low. You're at 1950. So I think earlier when he tributed for Caius, he could have just made Cataster, but... If anything, that kind of saved him because that allowed him to make the Black Rose return play. See, like, he would have the Chaos Sorcerer. It wouldn't have been game, but it would have been 63 or 20, 73. So he would have left Bob at 700. But again, he's at 1150 against Amaryllis. Yeah, not good. He also would have had a Chaos Sorcerer that Bob has to deal with. Okay, so let's see how it would have played out. The only difference is he would have had a Chaos Sorcerer in attack position, right? So Bob would have summoned the Snipe Hunter. He has to get rid of the Chaos Sorcerer. And then he would have went Amaryllis. So yeah, it would have been a different outcome. Then he would have at least had Armor Master. Armor Master run over the Snipe Hunter for 1,000. He probably still loses though. Alright, so Bob takes game 1. I am rooting for Vinh, so we'll see if we can pull off the Legacy 2-0. Move on in this tournament. I don't remember these guys' records though. They were either 1-0 or 0-1, obviously, but I just want everyone to. I hardly ever get people who don't have a chance. Once you're eliminated from the tournament, I won't get you on camera. It's just my rule. I just follow that rule because I want there to be stakes in each match. If you don't have a chance to make top cut, that's why whenever I do single elimination tournaments, I never get the people, like let's say you lost round 1 and we're playing a single elimination tournament, I won't film the people who are like 0-1 already. Okay, so Torrential is the Titanial. MST, the Mirror Force. What else does Vinh have? So, Rhoda. Rhoda for Necro, so he must have Greffer if he's making this play. Yep. Summon Greffer, pitch Necro, and now here you either send Plague or Vayu, depending on the rest of your hand. We'll see what he decides to send. I can't see. I think it's Vayu. We just can't see it because there's a little bit of a glare over there. Yep, 2 darks, attacks him for 17. I don't think this deck normally plays Gores, but you never know. So end phase, he's gonna Crow the Necro Gardener. That way he doesn't have to deal with that way he could just run over the Greffer. Which this hurts. This hurts Vinh really, really bad. Because especially if he has like another Vayu in his hand that he wanted to dump to the graveyard. Summon Arma. Send Sirocco. Bring out Armwing. Attack over the Card Trooper. And attack directly, leaving Bob at 3,000. Set 1, pass to Bob. Bob drew Amaryllis, so he's got... What's in his hand? He's got Mark. Oh, I think his hand is Mark, DDR, 2 Hidden Armories, so he can't play his Hidden Armories until he gets rid of the Mark at the DDR. That's unfortunate. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Yep, DDR, pitch Amaryllis. Torrential's gone, right? Was that... Yeah, Torrential's gone, so the only thing you're afraid of is Mirror Force. Attack. Yeah, Torrential's gone. Oh, he's going to Burial. Okay, Burial, activate Necro, attack for 9. Yeah, I probably don't want to get too low against Amaryllis. And yeah, Bob's... The rest of his cards are bricks, at least for now. Amaryllis and then give back the arm wing. Here comes heavy. And another arm wing. A monster is game, right? Any monster? Yeah, this game. If he has any other monster. Yep, that's game. Kills him through gores too, if he does have it, if he drew into it. So Vinh forces the third game against Bob. Let's see who will move on. It's just like it's hard for me to remember what people's records are. I just know whenever I'm at locals and I'm deciding who to get on feature, I'm walking around. Because we use the Neuron app for the tournament, and I look at the app and I'm like, okay, who's still got a chance? And I'll usually go up to them and ask them, hey, do you guys mind being on camera? And that's how I decide. I go based off like decks, sometimes rivalries too. Like me and Bob, we have like this mini rivalry, so he and I think anytime we get paired, I'm probably gonna get us on camera. And Toby too. Toby's my other rival, just because they both like to trash talk. Not because that's the only reason. They both love the trash talk. Okay, so here comes Botanical Lion from Bob. Botanical Lion attack Plague. Pass to Vinh. See, I think Vinh had Raikou as well. See, I don't like setting Plague turn 1 right there. I would just set Raikou because you want to mill. You want to, especially he doesn't have Titanium up yet. I'm pretty sure he has Raikou. Yeah, I see one in his hand. So I would have set Raikou turn 1. Especially he had a back row. Because you want the more cards that are in your deck, you have a higher chance to mill Vayu and Sirocco. So you want to try a mill Vayu and Sirocco with your Raikous and then like do the Plague and the summon the Sirocco and stuff like that. Especially before he gets the Titanium on the board. Because once he gets the Titanium on the board with like Amaryllis or some tokens, your Raikous are pretty much useless. Alright, so now Bob summons Jane. Yeah, Jane has seen a surge in popularity in a lot of decks thanks to, I think Ryan had a big effect. And Jane's good. I've tried it in my Vayu deck and I think it's decent. It's not a bad one of in Vayu if you guys want to, if you want to play Charge of the Light Brigade. Cause it runs over Shura, runs over Sirocco, runs over Stratos, runs over Grepher, runs over Bora, and you on top of that mill too at the end phase. It's a good card. Versus Raikou, you have to set it, you have to wait a turn. It's a little different. Alright, so he flip summons Dandelion. I wonder if Vinh set the Raikou now. And like I'm just pointing out, like if he had set the Raikou turn 1, he could have sniped the bottomless and then his Sirocco would have went through. So here comes the Lone Fire. Looks like Bob doesn't fear Torrential. I mean, probably read at this point that he doesn't have the Torrential. So Lone Fire, pop Lone Fire, bring out Titanium in defense. So he's doesn't fear Torrential, but he does fear Mirror Force. I feel like Bob fears Mirror Force more than Torrential. Alright, there's a Raikou. See what I mean? Now he can't use the Raikou because he didn't set it turn 1. End phase, Amaryllis. It's okay. This is how we learn. I make mistakes. I played Forg round 1 of this tournament and did awful. Did awful. But like the only way I'm going to learn the deck is there's 2 ways: by watching other people play it or playing it myself. That's the real best way to do it is to do both. Play it yourself and watch other people. I think you have to do both. Now, some people are so talented that they can just watch and pick it up, but I'm not like that. I actually have to play. But I've met a lot of people who they can just watch, like my friend Cam, my friend Josh Jordan. They won't play leading up to event. They'll just watch videos and then they'll perform well. Like Josh has done well this year at a big events, and I wouldn't say because he's a grinder. I think he watches a lot. But he doesn't play that much. He plays occasionally, but not too much. Alright, anyway, here comes Arma, send Necro. Now that I'm done yapping. Arma, send Necro. So he's going to stack for Plague. No Crow. Synchro into... What do you make? Goyo and take the Titanium? Yeah, Goyo. Oh, but Vin's at 15. So he's already like 2 Amaryllis burns for game. I wonder what his back row is. But he does have Necrogardener. But still. That Amaryllis is just sitting there. At least the Titanium will protect you, but from like getting marked. How big? I need to read Botanical Lines. See, I don't read cards. What is Botanical Lines affect? I know it gets huge, but I can't remember how. Botanical Lion. Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, gains 300 attack for each plant monster you control. Okay, so that means it's at... It counts itself. So it's at 16, so 19, 22, 25, 20. Oh, it's at 31, yeah. So Bob takes down Vin and is moving on in this tournament. Again, I don't remember Vin's record. But thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't already, please consider joining our members only. I'm uploading World League content on there and a little bit of redo. Only $2.99 a month. Also have a coupon code for 5% off Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles and product at Epic Cards and Games. Those links are in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.